everybody, my name is Mars. You can call me MG if you would like, and today I have for you just a fun little chatty video about something that's been on my mind for a little bit now, and that thing is mirror magic. So I have two books in particular that I want to talk about because I really like the differing approaches they take to mirror magic and the implications of the way mirror magic works. So I'll just talk about those books first, and then we can get to comparing them. So the first book I have for you is Reckless by Cornelia Funk. This is the first book in the Reckless series. It was originally called Reckless, and the series was called The Mirror World. It has since been rebranded. I believe the new name for this book is The Petrified Flesh, and Reckless is the name of the series. But this follows Jacob Reckless, who discovers this kind of like fantasy version of our world where all of the fairy tales that have ever existed are real. And he discovers this through a mirror in his father's study. His father went missing years and years ago. And in this fantasy world, he becomes a bounty hunter of sorts, going after all of these fairy tale things. It's more, I guess, of like a treasure hunter for the rich people of the land. Specifically, he works for Therese, who is the Empress of Austria, which I assume is just Austria, Germany. And the issue in this book is that one day his younger brother Will follows after him unknowingly in the mirror, and bad things happen. The other book I want to talk to you about is A Winter's Promise by Christelle Dabos. This is also the first book in a series. These are also both translated works, so this book was originally written in German, and A Winter's Promise is originally in French. This is the first book in the Mirror Visitor series, and it follows Ophelia, who has two types of magic in this world where basically there was this kind of explosion of sorts where the earth is now fragmented into these arcs, and people on different arcs have different kinds of magic, and she lives on Anima, which has to do with material things. So her first type of magic she has is as a reader, so she can touch non-organic items and see into their past. She can also travel through mirrors, why it's called the Mirror Visitor and why I want to talk about it in this video. So both of these books involve characters traveling through mirrors, and it's very interesting the way that they kind of take opposite approaches to how mirror traveling works in this world. So in Reckless, the way traveling through these mirrors to get to this fantasy world works is that you have to put your hand on the mirror and obscure your face, kind of like you have to forget who you are and where you come from in order to do this traveling. But in the Mirror Visitor series, the way it works is you have to be so incredibly sure of who you are and what you're doing so that you come out the other end in one piece. Ophelia, the first time she traveled through mirrors, she didn't know she had this magic, but she goes through and she kind of gets stuck halfway through. And because of that, she has this disability that affects her for the rest of her life. It messes with her sense of balance. She's very clumsy. Her hands don't work very well. Because she didn't know the rules and she wasn't totally sure of what she was doing, it damaged her permanently. So they kind of have these opposite approaches, and I just thought that was very interesting. This is a series that I have loved since I was a kid, and I've read all of the books that are out. I believe there's one more coming out soon. This book I only picked up a few years ago, but I recently finished the series, and it just had me thinking about how you can take any concept really and just do it in so many different ways. Like, at the core of it, these two books have this mechanic that is essentially the same, where you just step through mirrors and into this new place. In this book, it's to a new world. This book, it's places on the same world, but she can go certain distances, and as her time goes on, her powers grow and she can travel for further distances and all that fun stuff. You know how magic works, it's always growing. And the fact that it started off with the same kind of concept but went completely opposite ways with it. Here you have to forget who you are in order to be able to travel through mirrors. Here you can't travel through mirrors unless you know exactly who you are. It's just so fascinating to me, which is why I wanted to make this quick little video. I know it's not much, but it was enough for me to be thinking about it for literal weeks, because I finished this book like a month or two ago and I'm still thinking about mirror magic. So I just thought I would make this little video and spark some conversation. So be sure to leave your opinions on this topic down in the comments so we can chat. If you know any other books that use mirror magic in a similar way to these books, or maybe a different way, definitely bring those up because I would love to hear about them. But that is the end of this video. If you've enjoyed it, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. You can subscribe to my channel for more content, and that way I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye everyone.